So welcome to another video in Foundations in Maternal and Newborn Health. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the basics of pharmacology. So pharmacology is really just the study of drugs, and you can see that from the name. So pharma means drug, so anything with the word pharma in it usually means drugs or pharmaco, and ology means the study of. So when you see pharmacology, you should be thinking the study of drugs. So pharmacology can be broken down into a few different arms or a few different branches of pharmacology, but we're just going to focus on two. So the first is pharmacodynamics. And so pharmacodynamics is really just the effect of drugs or a drug on the body. So this is probably what you think of when you think of pharmacology. When you think of the science of drugs, you're thinking, what is the effect of the drug on the body? The other study, or the other branch of pharmacology that we're going to be specifically focused on, is pharmacokinetics. And pharmacokinetics is really just the opposite of pharmacodynamics. It's what the body does to the drug. So this one might be a little less intuitive. This is kind of how the body processes the drug or affects the drug in some way. So pharmacodynamics, again, is how the drug affects the body. So we're going to cover topics like mechanism, so drug mechanism. So this is, how does the drug exert its effect on the body? So if you think of things like maybe an example of acetaminophen, we know that acetaminophen acts as an analgesic. How is it doing that? How is acetaminophen exerting this effect of pain relief on the body? The other thing that we might cover is dose response. So this is a different dose of the drug may have a different response, or may have a proportional response with increasing dose. And this fits well into actually toxicology. So again, the study of toxins or poisons, and so some drugs at a different dose may have a different response, and this introduces this idea of the study of toxins or poisons. So again, thinking of acetaminophen at higher doses, at higher concentrations in the body, it can actually be poisonous. It can be harmful to the cells. The other topic that we'll go into for pharmacodynamics is drug interactions. And usually when we think of drug interactions, we're thinking of negative interactions. So again, if we think of acetaminophen or Tylenol, we know that you shouldn't be drinking alcohol with Tylenol. And that's because of this drug interaction between alcohol and Tylenol is very damaging for the liver. So again, this kind of fits back into toxicology. So there are drug interactions for certain drugs that when you take them together, they kind of react with one another to either form a toxin or in some instances actually increase the effectiveness of drugs. But it's usually negative when we're talking about drug interactions. So that's generally pharmacodynamics. For pharmacokinetics, we're thinking how the body affects the drug. So this is things like absorption. So how is the drug absorbed? So again, if we think of acetaminophen, we take that usually orally by a pill. So that goes, through our mouth, into our stomach, and into our intestines. So how is it absorbed? Different drugs are absorbed in different areas of the GI tract. So some drugs are absorbed in the stomach, while others are absorbed in the intestines, and that affects kind of how the drug works, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's important to study. We'll also cover things like transportation. So when we think of drug transportation, we can think of drugs like oxytocin or misoprostol, and these are drugs that have a specific tissue target, right? If you just want the drug to act on the uterus or some other organ, the drug needs to be transported there somehow, and different drugs are transported through different means. And then the last thing that we'll cover is metabolism and excretion. And these are different things, but I'll lump them in together because they're both ways that the body removes the drug. Excretion. Okay, so metabolism, you can think of metabolism as breaking down the drug itself. So if you have a molecule, it breaks it down into little pieces. So you might have like a full molecule, and then the cell will break it down into little pieces, which makes the drug not function anymore. So we have the full drug, and that's kind of broken down. Excretion is taking either the full drug or the pieces of the drug, and it's removing it from the body. So we're thinking of, urination, defecation, in some instances, exhalation, right? So this is removal over here. So you may, break down the drug, and then you may remove it. So these are all kind of just instances of removing the drug or deactivating the drug. So these are two branches of pharmacology that we'll mainly cover in this pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics, and we'll go into further detail on that in a later video.